Okay, so we are here at Best Buy. Just get out of the parking lot here without killing myself. So I'll take a quick stop here at the edge of this road. So I want to check this. Yeah, that should do okay. So we're at Best Buy and just bought this frame for the GoPro because the cases I have are all like kind of the waterproof, watertight housings, and their audio quality is not very good. So I'm not going to bore you guys with that today. So this is my last drive in the 2013 Golf R. I don't really know how this angle is, but let's just take this thing off actually, because I don't need the protective lens. I'll probably adjust the angle occasionally just so it's a little bit easier for you guys to see kind of what's going on with things. And I'm going to get on the interstate and pick up the new Golf R. So the point of this video is just a quick sort of recap. I mean, I've ridden a lot about this car and what I want to get out of the new one, but I thought it'd be cool to do this, you know, just to a certain degree for posterity, for my own kind of remembrance, but also to document sort of my thoughts. So this car has 48,800 miles on it now, and it's been a wonderful car, really, really wonderful. So I've owned it for since March of 2013, so 2.5 years roughly. And it's been, so I picked it up new. It only had maybe 30 or 40 miles in the odometer when I picked it up. It's been up to Montreal, Quebec City, to Chicago, to Indiana and across all that area, down to Philadelphia, down to DC, Delaware, Virginia, New York a few times. That's probably the extent of how far I've driven this car. I've had a couple of scares, and I think that for the most part, it's been VW being VW. And what I mean by that is it's a German car, has a lot of fancy sensors, and it's a little bit picky about things. So like, you know, the tire pressure monitor, I remember when I left for Chicago with Chris, tire pressure monitor came on, and you know, that was scary because we were about to embark on a 1,000-mile drive to Chicago. So had it checked out, everything was fine. The monitor didn't go off at first, and then about 200 miles in, the monitor then just magically turns off. The body work on this car has been way more expensive than I ever expected. I had after the first winter of owning the car, I had one of the wheel well plastic pieces kind of break a bit, and that was replaced. That was like $250 to replace the wheel well plastic and a couple of screws. And then after this previous winter, the front fender was also having problems. Not problems, but it was dinged up. The bottom skid plate was really messed up and hanging down with some missing screws. The air intake, the passenger side air intake, that kind of, I think it ventilated brakes and did a couple of things with the intercooler, that was broken and not in good shape. And really, it's just very cold, icy, gross winters and lots of driving. So yeah, that kind of sucked. So I mean, overall, I've probably spent, and then I've done like 3 alignments in this thing, and you know, just because I'm very finicky about the alignment, especially when I am driving so much, and I don't want my expensive quote max performance tires to be wearing down unevenly. So I'm really picky about the alignment. So I think overall, when you don't factor in the regular maintenance, I've spent maybe $2,000 in maintenance in 2 years. That seems like a lot of money. But a lot of the stuff was optional. Like, you know, my brakes, my brake rotors were uneven, and instead of resurfacing them, I chose to just buy new front rotors. And those kind of things are things that, in retrospect, fully optional, wasn't a safety issue. Car performed fine. Car would have passed inspection. But I chose to get it done because I want my car to be in the best shape it can possibly be. So that's been kind of the story. I hope this guy isn't a jerk in red. It's kind of been the story with this car so far. Gas mileage has been as expected, 23 miles per gallon average. I would have liked it to be higher, especially when I was, you know, putting 18,000 or 20,000 miles a year on it. But again, it's like a, you know, you buy a car that's has a big honking turbo and all-wheel drive on it, and you don't really, you know, you don't cry when you realize that insurance is high or gas is expensive. It's just not something that you really are going to complain about and get sad about. Insurance on this thing, it was pretty high, and actually, you know, I wasn't very proactive on my insurance premiums. I actually just switched insurance companies 2 months ago, and my 6-month premium dropped by $250 just by switching. Same coverage, same home address, same commute, or miles per year, etc. And so that's sort of, you know, those kind of costs are just sort of the parts of owning a car. Drivability and performance-wise of just sort of being on the road, it's been a really nice experience. So it's quick. I don't really notice any quote turbo lag, as people would mention with, you know, when you have a 2-liter 4-cylinder engine with a big turbo, there's going to be turbo lag. I don't notice it. I don't think it's fair to judge a car based on that. The handling in town, it's fine. I don't have any traffic, so the manual transmission down here has been totally fine. There is really good comfort in the seats for long trips. I like that I can be in 6th gear and pass people really easily without having a downshift. I mean, I've had manual transmission cars in the past, and to go from 65 to 80 for a second to pass someone, it's generally from 5th gear you're going to 4th to pass someone, and this thing in 6th with a turbo, it spools up nicely and I overtake. It's actually one of my thoughts about the future car is, will that same experience be in there with the automatic if I want to keep it in 6th and not the downshift? You know, automatic will automatically downshift, but I don't really know if I wanted to. Conveniences, you know, I still joke with people that the rearview mirror in this thing doesn't auto dim, and like I'm always thinking like, wow, this is so ridiculous that like I've got this performance car and no auto dimming mirrors, but then it has things like heated seats and a sunroof and like, you know, 6 or 7 speakers, but yet this thing is a cheap piece of plastic. The lights, the headlights are always really cool. I mean, it's high intensity discharge lights, HIDs, the auto level when you start it up, which is always a cool little animation on the front, even though I understand there's a purpose for it. And the cornering of the lights is really awesome. Daytime running lights look cool, but they're the multi-LED kind of setup, so they definitely are showing some age now. They're not a full LED bar like some of the fancier new Audis or Porsches have. I'll kind of be nice to have full adjustable seats because this is only like, it only does front and back, and the back part is motored and the rest of it is a hand pump or a hand control. It'd be nice to have fully adjustable seats in the new car. Ever since I got this car, the navigation and infotainment setup was very lacking, and I've never liked it from the beginning. In the new unit, it's like a 3-inch larger screen, support for CarPlay, all kinds of cool stuff, and I think that'll be really nice. I mean, faster UI, more current maps. The center console here will be full color, have faster refresh rate. Yeah, that'll be really nice. So, but you know, I think I've talked for long enough. 10 minutes is pretty good. Overall, I will miss this vehicle greatly. It's always given me a nice joy to drive, even for fun or for work or for travel. And everything about it's pretty good. I mean, it feels basic in here now when I think back and look back on it, but there's a lot of good positives to it. And the only downside of the new car is that it won't have a sunroof. And VW says it's because it reduces up top weight, and guys that are doing tracking on their cars don't like the sunroof weight, and it's a valid thing, and I won't fault them for removing it. So everything else is a vast improvement. So, all right, this is the last mile or so with my car. It's been like a 70 or so mile journey down to the dealer. So nice final ride. Got to wave at a Jetta TDI as they were trying to be aggressive with me, which doesn't happen that much, but sometimes the other VWs want to sort of play around a bit, and I was having none of that. Last thing I want to do is have a mechanical issue or a wreck on the way to trade in my car. But yeah, so we're ending up with, well, 48,908 on the odometer. So it'll probably be 910 by the time I actually drop this off. Was playing a little Jay-Z and some cake and some Queen on the way down here. It was a nice little drive. Yeah, this is it. So, into the MK6 Golf R. I'm returning it, I don't know if you guys can see that, but I'm returning it with the 4 OEM wheels. And I'm also selling them some other wheels. Is this my exit? I don't think so. I guess it is. Shit. No, next exit. I'm also kind of giving them my winter wheels as well. So, or yeah. So here we are approaching Keene. It was a little bit rainy. I hope that the drive on the way back is a bit drier than it was on the way there. A couple of VWs, hi guys. Hello, hello, hello. Hello VWCC. Hello, hello. I'll issue the V up to other VWs. I don't know if it's really, I would say for the most part, some GTIs will V back, some older like MK1, MK2 Golfs, or Passats will holler back. And almost every time there's a Golf R or R32, they always V back or wave or give a nod or some kind of thing. So it's pretty much a guarantee. We have a last pull there in the V-dub before we are is gone forever. Probably missed that turn signal, didn't I? I missed it last week when I came up here. All right. No, I did not miss it. Awesome. So, been fun. It's been a nice car, for sure. And I was actually amazed. I was doing some horsepower pulls with the OBD2 port and iPhone app, and you know, it's still pulling the same amount of horsepower as it did when I first bought it, which is awesome. Looks like they may have sold the other Golf R. That was an MK6. It was a blue one. Looks like that one's long gone. Let's see if I can I'll get lucky and spot mine. It appears not. So I will park in a normal area. And then yeah, say goodbye to the car. Yeah, we'll do here for now. All right, guys, signing out. Maybe the next video will be me in the car.